What's going on? This is Jared with Sacred Boxing. I am here in Atlanta with my homeboy Christian Steele with Steele Boxing.
Yes, indeed.
We're going with some techniques, some thoughts, some philosophy as it comes to defense. But quick question, I'm going to ask you about your hierarchy of defense. How do you layer defense when you teach it, maybe to a person that comes in for the first time?
All right, so the way I teach it is the 4 lines of defense. The first line of defense is your feet. Your feet get you in and out of range. It gets you out the way of shots. If you're not in range, you can't get touched by it. Your second line is your hands. Right, your hands allow you to catch shots, parry shots, and collect data. Right, because there's no reason to be moving your head and doing all these other things if you don't know where the shot is coming from. So when you're collecting data, you can see the speed that they're throwing with, the power they're throwing with, the angles they're throwing from, the type of combinations they're throwing. You know, man, the tendencies. You can figure all of that out while you're collecting data. Once you got that information, then you can start moving your head, which is your third line, your head movement. Start getting out of the way of shots, slipping, rolling, you know, things like that. And then last but not least is your fourth line, which is something that's not used a lot nowadays, but it's your fourth line of defense. It's your clinch, right? Your clinch is what you do when you're taking the person's offense away from them. A lot of people call it hugging or, you know, whatever the case may be, but it's actually a clinch. It's an effective way to take your opponent's offense away and be able to reposition yourself.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. My hierarchy reigns the same way: feet, hand battles, head movement, and then I've also put only place where we differ, I put the clinch inside the hand battles. So I'm using it in the way I would use it is offensively, but I definitely understand the clinch being on its own.
Right, absolutely.
But yeah, so then if we think about, we're talking about defense here, and we want to put this in application. Application of defense might be that I get in a group class. I got a lot of younger boxers coming up asking how to defend against the jab. So, and specifically the jab to the body. How would you say that?
All right, so I teach the jab, the way to defend the jab to the body. I teach it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
First way, depending on what your stance is, one of the main things. If you're a guy who's fighting in a high guard, you know, hands up, you know, pretty textbook, fundamentally sound, I'll tell you to drop down, close the elbows, catch it on the elbow. Right, so when he's throwing it, boom, I catch it here. Catch it on that lead elbow there. Right? Or if you're a guy who's, you know, maybe fighting with his hand down, a little more slicker style, I'll tell you to parry that jab. Right? So when the jab
to the body?
That jab to the body,
okay.
Yeah. Swim it out.
Okay.
Swim it out. When you swim that shot out, it does 2 things. It repositions your opponent's body. Do it again. Opens him up, but also allows you to be able to turn back and counterpunch him. So when he throws it, you swimming them out, you can turn right back into a shot.
Like that. One of the things I was working with a new boxer on was that I was calling a sweep, low parry type of idea. And I was telling him, so as that jab came to his body, I was telling him you could really get it kind of hung up.
Absolutely.
And because we learned from our coaches to throw in a straight line and bring it back, any type of reaction where the punch gets hung up, it's gonna be difficult to come back. It's coming back at a different angle versus just putting it out and bringing it straight back. So, yeah. And one of the things I would add on to that, like that sweep, that low parry, it's just like think about the location of where you are in the ring. Also, think about that opposite hand. As Christian throws that jab to me, if I stand here and parry here, and I'm not cognizant of the hand he has available, I'm gonna catch that shot. And so then it might be good, just depending on where you're on the ring. He throws that jab, I'm stepping over, I'm kind of not necessarily getting out of the range of that cross, but at least being able to put a scope on it, being able to see it before it hits me, and I don't, you know, that's the punch that you don't want to get hit with, the punch that you don't see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like just to piggyback off what Jared was saying about you know, sweeping a hand all the way out when the jab is coming to the body, I teach the same thing, but similar. I teach my fighters to control that hand. You're not just swimming it out and just knocking it a little bit. You're controlling that hand to protect you from getting hit by something else on that side. And if you're doing it properly, this left hand should be up already anyway to kind of prevent anything coming from the right hand. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so, and even if we like bring it to the center of the ring, that slow, that low parry can be accompanied by a full exit, like I talked about, like stepping over. But sometimes you can like change the angle off that, so
Absolutely.
that jab comes in. I'm taking it with me.
And then you have to turn and find you.
Yeah, turn to find it. And typically that's the best place you want to have a person to where you have the angle and you're able to throw while they're turning.
Absolutely. And again, piggyback off of Jared again, it all stems from what you're trying to do, because your defense is to create offense, right? So it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're a boxer, like you're saying, that taking the angle is going to be your best bet. You know, swimming, throw the jab to the body, taking the angle with it. If you're a boxer, so you can open them up and get up out of there. But if you're a person that doesn't necessarily have the best feet and you're looking for a counter right then and there, you can counter, stay there right where he's at and fire right off of it. So it's all circumstantial and it's based off of what, you know,
For sure.
situation.
And with his style, I can see him getting away with that actually.
Yeah.
It felt a little bit threatening when he did it just now.
Yeah, look.
A little bit of shell shock.
I've got
episode.
away with it a couple times.
Okay.
I've got away with it a couple times.
Right, so that's slick. I didn't think about that. I always kind of like teach, all right, it's important to step off,
Yeah.
but if you know yourself, you know your style, you know your
Exactly.
hand speed, you know
Exactly.
how to manipulate time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
let me try that real quick. Let me do that.
for sure.
Slow.
Yep, right back into it.
Okay.
You turn your body with it. Boom.
Right there, okay.
Just like that. There's no
Yeah.
way for them to protect themselves at that point from the
Yeah.
right hand, because they're already fully exposed and fully extended.
And to that, to another point, like I was talking to a kickboxer, martial artist, Gabe Varga, and he talked about blocking when the jab is thrown, blocking it here. And I didn't really think that, I didn't like that because it took away my counter, which I've only thought as he throws the jab, I'm blocking with my elbow forearm,
Right.
and I'm coming across there. But we're in Atlanta, we got this Haney, Brian Norman fight coming up.
Absolutely.
And Brian Norman had a hell of a knockout. He's called the knockout of the decade.
Exactly.
With Sasaki.
I think that's how you pronounce
Sasaki.
it. Sasaki. Japanese kid.
Yeah. So he did what is kind of foreign to me. That jab comes in. He blocked like this, and as Sasaki was pulling out of that punch, Brian Norman clips him and folds him, puts him down.
Absolutely.
It was a knockout of the year.
Good body shot by Norman.
He's out cold! Out cold!
A gigantic left hand by Brian Norman.
Oh, that's a
Jr.
showstopper.
If you ask Brian Norman about it, he's saying knockout of the decade. So
Absolutely. I think he's looking to do the same this weekend or next weekend.
next week on the 22nd.
According to him, yeah.
Let me get that prediction from you real quick.
That's my young boy, man. I gotta go, and not just because he's my young boy, not being biased, but
Yeah.
also, you know, Haney is he's always been chinny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's coming up another weight class, and he doesn't necessarily hasn't shown the power to keep somebody off him. Really.
Even in this new weight class you're seeing.
Yeah, well, I mean, this would be the first time in this weight class, so you know, I don't think he's fully adapted and fully adjusted to it.
Yeah.
And if you're getting hurt by 135-pound punchers, 140-pound punchers, who are not even necessarily the biggest punchers, but they're 140-pound punchers,
Yeah.
you get in there with a big puncher at 147 and Brian Norman, I gotta go with him.
Yeah.
I
I didn't even think to ask. We in Atlanta. That's your boy. You know
that's
him.
I know
Train
Brian.
with him.
Yeah, I know Brian. I don't train him, but he come up here from time to time. We talk.
That's
we chop
dope.
it up. Yeah,
I know he trains his
yeah,
dad.
yeah.
And it was only this weekend when I went on YouTube and I saw Brian Norman Sr.
Oh yeah.
Senior?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
We were fighting the same time I saw him fighting. So
yeah.
that aged me when I when I saw that clip.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, that's dope. We brought it full circle. We're in Atlanta again. Steele Boxing. Check him out. I'm gonna tag his @ in the headline of this clip. And for more boxing knowledge, hit us up. Peace. Proven technique done on a very high level. A competition with Adrian Granados.
Adrian Granados.
I remember this fighter. This is more within the last decade.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we've seen him do remarkable things. This is one of the guys that shared the ring with him. This was the technique that we were talking about, using the jab to the body. I jabbed to his body. He was just showing me what he did specifically in this fight,
Right.
where there was a low parry, a sweep, a step out.
I stepped out with it like Jared talked about before, and he came right back with the uppercut in the right hand.
So even when I had to turn the camera back on, because even when we were talking again about that jab, he stepped out.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Pull him in with it. He was reaching from farther. Step back just a little bit. He reaching from farther away. Use the momentum against him. Hold right into it.
Yeah, but right when he stepped out, I was anticipating that same hand that he hung me up on, that cross to come through. When he came with this, I was like, all right, we got to turn the camera back on, because that was too slick. All credit due. You hear it first. There's no stealing. We're being resourceful right here.
Indeed. We passing it along.
Yeah, and paying homage.
The first line of defense is your feet. Your feet get you in and out of range, not your feet. That's your feet, right?
Yeah, I
You need a good spoof moment.
All right.